Hey, welcome to BreitWerks. What are you looking at? 2004 Cayenne S. And we've got a leaky valve cover gasket. So we're going to get this valve cover off and we're going to change out the valve cover gasket and the spark plug tubes. So we'll see if there's any oil in there. And basically this is our shop truck. Her name's Piggy. And I rev her every day at least to 4,000 RPMs, pulling out onto roads just to see, right? 233,000 miles. So if the worst thing that we got going on here is a leaky valve cover gasket on the driver's side, thank goodness, not on the passenger side. Yeah, well, let's get into it and we'll see if we can get this valve cover off. So I feel a little gypped here because all four plug wells are absolutely dry. And what you can see is right down on those lower bolts. And then if you look to the, let's see if I can figure out how to do this. But if you look to the manifold, right back here, it's dripping. Let me see if I can move that wire out of the way. Right back there, it's putting like one drip on the back of the manifold, and that's what's making the stench. So yeah, here is a little bit of a leak, and then all those bottom bolts are wet. But almost want to, no, I don't. We're just going to change that valve cover gasket and not borrow any trouble. All right, we're going to keep moving. All right, so far, hasn't been rocket science, right? You've got a bunch of bolts that you have to take out, all the ones around the perimeter. Probably the hardest are the three in the back. There's one at the top, in the middle, and the bottom, and they're all in the same plane, right? So you got 1, 2, 3. You know there's a fourth one back there somewhere. You just got to hunt it down. 1, 2, 3. You know there's a fourth one. Same for the bottom row there. Probably so far, most tricky part is getting the wiring harness, you know, kind of loose and up and out of the way. There's these two balls that attach your spark plug cover. They're actually brackets that hold a lot of this stuff. And there's one screw and another screw, double duty to hold the valve cover gasket in. So once you get those out, you can kind of move stuff around. Be very careful. There is a vacuum line right here. Workshop manual says to unplug the injectors. I'm not sure if that has really bought us anything, but you know, as we're manipulating things around, certainly we don't want to break any harnesses. And this part sucked. Literally. This is the breather hose, corrugated breather hose. And as soon as I unhooked it, let's see, where did it go? Yeah, anyway, as soon as I unhooked it, it goes right over here. So as soon as I unhooked it from that side, I heard a click on this side. And you can see, I mean, this guy was getting ready to go. But the irony of the whole thing is this hose is more expensive than the valve cover gasket, right? So normally all you do, you take this hose, you very gently spin it kind of up out of the way, and it just sits there. But yeah, luckily we'll be able to get one today, so we don't have to have the car down for a while. But yep, I have had lots of these little guys, and actually if you look down there at the bottom, you can see that there's a small hole. So I have been noticing my evap fans coming on more and more lately, and I wonder if that had something to do with it. Don't know that for sure, but most of you are probably wondering, you're going, Jason, it's one drip. Yeah, but it smells, and it's engine related. So engine related stuff I'm gonna fix as soon as I can get to it. You know, interior, ripped steering wheel, you know, whatever, who cares? But engine related stuff, because this oil will drip, and it will drip down onto your AC compressor. And those AC compressors are insanely expensive. I think we did a video about them once before. So, you know, fixing these gaskets is going to keep oil from going in a lot of bad places. Plus, we're keeping the oil on the inside of the engine, which is where we want it to stay. And then if you're trying to do this yourself, here's the only other big issue. This wire, you actually have two wires that are going to creep through here, right? One is for your cam solenoid adjuster, cam adjuster solenoid. The other that comes down here is, this is actually your AC trigger wire. So it goes all the way down and it clicks onto that guy from the other side. So if you don't loosen this up, he's pulled taut over the valve cover, so you can't get the valve cover off. So you've got to get down there, and you'll notice what I did was I took out the air box, right? And then I could get my my hand down there, and it's not this side of the connector. Oops, this guy making our lives hard. Let's see. It's not this side of the connector, it's actually the bottom side, so it loops out. And then this is what it looks like, right? So it'll plug back up that way, but there's a couple of routings and a couple of little clips to keep this guy off. But again, you've got to be able to get him looped up here so you can get the valve cover off, which is the next thing we're going to do. All right, we got our valve cover off and everything looks really, really good. 220, what did I say, 233,000 miles on this motor, and not a speck of sludge anywhere. Maybe some minor wear on the very noses of the camshaft lobes, but definitely, you know, I'm trying to look at the lifters, hydraulic lifters. Looks like they've been spinning, which is good. That means you're getting even wear around the whole face. But yeah, the cams look great. You know, they're a little shiny right down on the nose, right there, but you can still feel the profile, and you can't actually feel anything in this direction, which with these hydraulic lifters you really shouldn't anyway. But yeah, wow, very happy with that. And really no sludge, if you will, to speak of. Maybe a little bit of crustiness, but she's basically lived on a life of Mobil 1, which some of y'all don't like, but this goes to show you 233,000 miles, and she's lived on a life of Mobil 1. She's had at least 10 oil changes. No, I'm sorry, it's 2004. She's had at least 20 oil changes. So what is it, 9 quarts of oil in this guy, so 180 quarts of oil that she's eaten over her life. But yeah, just looking in here, you know, everything looks really, really nice. And I always look at the filter, never found anything in there. But you can definitely see right here where the oil, let me get the other light too, the oil was migrating past the seal, right? So you can see it. It was just probably in this last 6 inches. So from here back all the way down, that it was migrating past. And if we look at this guy, that's going to be this last 6 inches down here, which actually this one is kind of still rubbery, if that's a word. Usually they come out in multiple hard pieces. But we'll get them out and we'll take a look. But yep, right here you can even see it, because this is the back side of the valve cover, right? This side points down. You see how dirty those 2, maybe even 3 are compared to all of the other ones. So this is that was our leak point. So we'll make sure when we get that back on, get it on there flush. All right, we got our valve cover cleaned up and we got our new gaskets installed. So one gasket here for the spark plug tubes, the big gasket all the way around the outside, and there are little teeth that kind of show you that it's the outside and it slides into a corresponding notch there. But all you really need to do is key off of this guy, right? So once you have him in the right place, everything else will kind of fall into place. And then one of the other things I did, the cam adjuster seal, I changed that. But my first go at it, not very good, and let me show you why. This is pretty much what was left of the, there was this little rubber piece too. That's why it wasn't just spitting out oil. And this totally had me fooled. You can see that I had scraped it clean and everything. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. What's the OD of this seal? And what's the ID of that hole? And yeah, this guy had turned into, this is actually the same seal that's in there with none of the rubber on there. So when you're pulling that seal, just be careful. That's pretty fragile plastic stuff. But we are going to get ready to go put this guy on. There are 2 dots of, we're going to use dry bond, but basically at the front of the engine, I'll show you on the motor, but the front of the engine where the timing cover comes together with the cylinder head, there's 2 dots that you put some dry bond on there. So let's go out there, I'll show you. All right, so you can see we've got our mating surfaces cleaned. We're ready for installation. But here's what I wanted to show you. There is a split right here where the timing cover bolts on. So you use a little drop of dry bond. Some guys use the black gasket maker from Permatex or something like that. But then you also have a corresponding one down here. And they actually don't really sit flush, which is kind of crazy for a machine surface. This one actually has like a little edge to it. But yeah, we've got all of those guys cleaned up. So what we're gonna do is get a couple of zip ties to hold this back so that we can set our valve cover in there. And on this particular side of the engine, it's not quite as important, but on the other side of the motor, you've got reluctor wheels in the back. And those are feeding your camshaft sensor, so you gotta be very careful not to bend one of those. All right, we're gonna get the valve cover on because we need 2 hands to do that. All right, we're at the point where we've got our valve cover back on. I was able to replace that corrugated hose, the most expensive part of this damn little project. And let's see, I did put new plugs in it, only because these Bosch plugs, I've been replacing them probably every 20 to 30,000 miles. These only have 10 on them. So I'm trying some NGKs on this side. And then if you're doing this job, make sure you got your fuel injectors, your 4 fuel injectors hooked back up. You got your breathers hooked up. And that silly little connector down at the bottom or your AC won't work. There's a few clips that some of these wires clip into. And you want to make sure you do that, otherwise they'll get down on the exhaust and yeah, something will stop working and you'll figure it out pretty quick. But yeah, we're at the point now where basically if you know how to change your spark plugs, that's it. So I'm gonna finish this up, button it up, and then we'll start it up, see what codes we get. All right, moment of truth. I quoted this job for a guy a couple months back, and he's like, oh, you're too expensive. And I'm like, yeah. You can go faster. You just rip stuff up as you do it. Let's see what happens. You guys are right here with me. Oh, I'm not seeing a immediate check engine light. Let's go take a look. River of oil. Yeah, all right. Well, I do believe we are going to call that a success. Thanks for watching. Somewhere in there is a fan. Have a fantastic day. Oh wait, those are fans. And check us out at BreitWerks.com. So if you're going to give this a go, absolutely give it a shot. Have fun. Fantastic.